What's going on, everyone? I'm the OPJellicent, and I'm battling here for week number 1 of season number 9 in the WPL. My opponent this week was Pokeclipz, coach of the Atlanta Aerodactyls. His roster is very solid, and it definitely matches up quite nicely against mine. The main reason being Scolipede plus Zardoi just rips through my team. My one Scolipede check is the Fortress, and Zardoi just says no to that. So because of that, I had to build an offensive team myself. We have a lot of speed control, just a few pivots right here. My win condition is Z Rain Dance Keldeo, which can go ahead and clean late game if I can get some chip damage off on these three. The regular Rain Dance does have its use right here too against his Zardoi. I can go ahead and get that up on the under the sun, and then I can go ahead and knock him out the next turn with a water type attack, in case he tries to charge a solar beam, of course. My Entei is Assault Vest, which can go ahead and pivot into Pokemon like the Zardoi as well as the Shaman. I do carry the solar beam too, because I'm expecting him to respond using the Rotom Wash. If I pivot into Zardoi and he goes Rotom, I can solar beam that down into range of my Keldeo Secret Sword, which could be great right here. My Tyranitar is Rock's Toxic and 2 attacks. I do have investment for the Zardoi, but I don't actually have a Rock type move. But I do want to wear that down with Crunch just for my Keldeo as well, so that's going to be very vital. My Fortress is really just here as a Scolipede switch in. It does have Gyro Ball and then Volt Switch and then just Stealth Rocks and Spikes right here. That's going to be very vital. Then of course we have 2 Choice Scarfers just for some more speed control. Choice Scarf Torn is great just because it can go ahead and outpace Pokemon like Necrozma and the Celesteela even after they speed boost, so that's very nice. And then my Gardevoir is Choice Scarf with Trick right here, just to help out against some setup variants of the Necrozma. So that's going to be my team. Let's go ahead and see what went down. I lead off here with my Tyranitar against the Charizard. Despite the fact that I can take a Focus Blast, I have no business staying in. Unfortunately, he pivots out into the Rotom. I was hoping he would stay in just so I could go ahead and take the hit and then Solar Beam into the Rotom Wash as it comes in. However, because he went out into the Rotom, I'm forced here into my Choice Scarf Gardevoir, which can go ahead and sponge hits from this because of my Spit F. However, he does Volt Switch out into the Celesteela. I'm still prioritizing those rocks, so I'm going to go ahead and switch in my Mega Tyranitar right here, as he's going to go ahead and pivot into the Rotom Wash. That tells me this is 100% the Defogger, and I need to really watch out for that. However, I did mention I have Toxic, and Mega Tyranitar's value is already diminished since it's in range of Focus Blast, so I'm going to go ahead and Toxic right here, and then start spamming Stealth Rocks as he's going to burn me this next turn, which is perfectly okay, because what I want to do right here is make sure these hazards stay up just for my Z Rain Dance Keldeo. So he's going to test the waters this next turn, defog just to see if I want to spam the rocks or not, which I obviously do. And because he sees that right now, he knows that he doesn't want to take more toxic damage with the Rotom, so he's going to Volt Switch out this next turn into his Shaman. I could have predicted this, but because I was burnt, I wouldn't be doing too much damage anyway, so I just click rocks one more time in case he defogs, and I will be dropping this turn. So I'm going to be going out here into my Tornadus. I really have to U-turn because I can't allow Rotom to come in and defog, so I have to punish this defog if he wants to go for it. I bring in my Gardevoir, which will be able to 2-hit KO this with Moonblast. It's kind of a forced click because if he defogs, I have to 2-hit KO. He does make the switch out into Celesteela though, which is perfectly okay, because I have good switch into this being Entei and Tornadus, so I'm going to go ahead and pivot into Entei this turn, try to get some breaking in as he's going to go ahead and Earthquake. Really good play right there. I guess he didn't expect my Tornadus to be the pivot. However, what I can do right here is go right for the Sacred Fire, and because I'm Assault Vest, I can take a Hydro Pump in case he decides to go for that rather than the defog, but I'm really expecting defog, so I'm just going to go ahead and take my 2-hit KO into the Rotom Wash. Hazards being gone really sucks, but the fact that Rotom Wash is gone is huge for my Z Rain Dance Keldeo, so I'm able to go ahead and knock that out, as Necrozma will be coming in right here. I pivot into my Gardevoir just in case it's set up. I do trace Prism Armor, however he just goes for the rocks. I make the safe Moonblast play right here. In hindsight, I probably should have tricked my Scarf away, because tricking Celesteela could have been nice as well. However, I know I can sponge Heavy Slams with my Tornadus, as he's unfortunately going to go ahead and miss a Leech Seed right here, which is going to set him a turn back. I can defog this turn. Now obviously I'm Sway Scarf Torn, so I'm scarfed into defog right here, so I'm forced to switch out, and he's going to go ahead and predict that very obvious switch as I go ahead here into my Entei, which is perfectly fine. I can go ahead and just Sacred Fire. He does reveal the Protect this turn, so my Entei is getting really low right here. However, he's going to be forced to take a Sacred Fire with something this turn, and I do get a little bit lucky right here and get a Sacred Fire crit into the Necrozma. However, with the Leech Seed recovery paired with the leftovers, I will not be able to knock him out. I will stay in here though, as I know the rocks are going to go back up, and just take my 2-hit KO, as he's actually going to go ahead and let me knock him out right here, which is great, because what this allows me to do is keep my Entei, and if I defog later, I still have more Sacred Fires in me, so he's going to double out into Celesteela on my Fortress, as here I make a risky play. Despite the fact that I'm Alka Berry, I really can't take a Flamethrower because it would put me in range of a +2 Z from Scolipede, but I risk it anyway trying to predict Zard to come in, as he does go ahead and switch out into that Charizard, which is perfect right here, because I'm able to go ahead and get in my Keldeo. I could have called the Shaman coming in, however I really did not see it as being worth it. I just decided to go for the Rain Dance in case he tried to Mega Evolve and go for Solar Beam. And because my Hurricane is 100% accurate right now and I'm Choice Scarf, it is a very safe switch in, so he's going to go ahead and switch out into the Charizard right here, which was interesting. This next turn is big. I have to hit the Hurricane because I can't allow him to Flame Charge up or get a Fire type move into something else. So I'm thankfully able to hit the 50% accurate Hurricane, getting very lucky right here. And at this point, it's just about trying to set up the Z Rain Dance. I go ahead and go out here into my Gardevoir just to pretty much check it off right here as he goes right for the Heavy Slam, which is totally cool. And we're in the end game now. I have to try to get in my Keldeo. Now here I'm going to go ahead and sack off my Tornadus as well, just to force a kill with my Entei Sacred Fire and force out that Scolipede, which is going to be huge right here. And pretty much I'm going to be able to go ahead and bring out my Entei. He has to lose a lot to Sacred Fire under the sun, as he's going to go ahead and Protect right here, which is perfectly okay. I will be able to go ahead and knock out the Shaman sack right here, and now Z Rain Dance Keldeo is completely set up. We will be able to knock out the Shaman. I still have my Scolipede check in the back in the Fortress, but I just had to sack off my Entei right here because it was out of Sacred Fires. No point in keeping it. Fortress can come out here. I'm just going to go ahead and Gyro Ball, and this is where making that play earlier was super risky, because had he gone for the Flamethrower, which I don't even think he had these 4 attacks right here. Hydro Vortex would have knocked me out, so I'm able to knock that out, and pretty much he will be going down 2-0 right here, because there is no way my Keldeo will be losing to the Celesteela. It does get a little bit stally, so I'll go ahead and skip some turns as I wear down the Celesteela with sub Keldeo, and that is going to be it. So I never even had to get up the Z Rain Dance, so we are able to go ahead and pick up the win right there and start 1-0, which is great. So hope you all enjoyed. We will be going up next week against Latios Azurill and the Philadelphia Froakies, and I'll see you all then. Later.